Hi, I'm Shane.
I'm Kelsey.
And that's Dixie.
And we're Love Hut for Life.
We've been living on the road for 23 weeks now. And this week has definitely been different for us, as well as it has been for each and every one of you.
Yeah, guys, in case you somehow missed it, we are in the middle of a global pandemic right now. For us, that meant that we didn't do a whole lot of traveling this week. We're about 8 miles from where we left you last. For that reason, we thought it might be a good idea to let all of you know how these laws and mandates are affecting us and our fellow nomads.
And we would also like to hear how they're affecting you. Please remember to subscribe and comment below so we can know what your struggles are.
Yeah, and also that helps us, guys, because as we continue on this journey, we'll need to know what's going on in other states. So definitely like, comment, and subscribe, and just know that we want to hear from you. Hope you enjoy. Left you last week in Bunkerville, Nevada, where the flowers were blooming and the sun was shining.
We had already been hanging out on this spot just off of the Butte backcountry scenic byway for several days without a soul in sight.
As our country prepared for what we were being warned would be the worst and scariest week of our lifetimes, we were grateful for our solidarity. It's out there, Shane.
It's a very big bull. I don't know if he's angry or friendly.
He's very attracted to us.
Unfortunately, the next morning, we were out of supplies and we needed to head to town.
You know, previously those words would bring excitement and happiness to me to return to society. But now I'm really unsure what I'm walking into or what dangers lie within or what laws and mandates have changed since I was last in town.
Our friend the bull must have also needed supplies. Our first stop was the post office. We figured out that you can have things mailed to any post office and they'll hold it for you up to 30 days. Lucky for us because the tags were out on the truck and it's not a good time to be driving around illegally.
Walking into the store, there was a small sigh of relief when I saw stocked shelves. Due to many signs around the store restricting the amount of purchases a single person can make, all of us are able to gather supplies. I will say it is still a very stressful experience, seeing people in masks and seeing the stress and fear in people's eyes, as well as hearing what's coming over the radio telling us we're going to make it through this, and to make sure we stay 6 feet apart to make it through the coronavirus. It is unlike anything I've ever experienced in my life. Even with all these restrictive signs, I am still unable to find paper products. Also, with the limits on purchasing water, these water dispensing and ice dispensing machines are what are keeping us alive out here in the desert.
With all supplies needed, it was time to head back down the Butte backcountry byway. We didn't want to go to the same spot that we were in before because there were high winds and rainstorms coming, and that looked like a place to get flooded.
We located some high ground overlooking the Virgin River, about 8 miles closer to pavement than we previously were.
With news stories every day about towns refusing to allow nomads to shop there, we've amassed quite the supply of canned food and non-perishables for worst case scenario.
Society is getting pretty scary, but out here is still calm and beautiful.
We spent most of day 157 just watching the cows go by and thinking about how grateful we are that we made the decision to move to this lifestyle when we did. Things are scary for us right now, but how much scarier would they be if we were still in a city paying high rent on an apartment that we weren't allowed to leave?
With all of the uncertainty does come some benefits for us, and that is we're not worried about eviction notices or our power being cut off.
Instead, we're curling up together and watching beautiful sunsets and getting views of the supermoon that I'm pretty sure most of my friends didn't get.
The next morning brought the rain, and the only thing left for us to do was to hide inside and watch the news, which has become darker and darker every day.
The clouds did eventually lift, and we were able to get outside and get some fresh air and just enjoy the beautiful place that we're in and try not to worry about what's going on everywhere else. And then the next morning, the rain was back again.
I made breakfast while Kelsey tried to figure out where we were going to go next. The answer is not Utah.
When reading articles like this, it's hard not to hurt for our country and wonder if being an American even means what it used to. It certainly doesn't feel the same as it did a few weeks ago.
With new terms like geofencing being created, they certainly have scared us from crossing that state line.
We're all coping a little differently, I guess, but I'm glad that we're doing it together.
We spent the first 4 hours of morning 160 listening to the president talk, but by that time, we were sick of being inside.
We originally bought our solar shower just to get us through on times that we went too long without going through a campground or by a gym or a truck stop. But it's become our only source now.
In theory, this bag heats itself, but with the rain and clouds that we've been experiencing this week, I had to help it out a little bit.
With a 6-gallon capacity and all of this hair, it gets 2, maybe 3 showers for each of us. But hey, it's a whole lot better than being stinky.
Water is not the only thing we're running short on. Buying more food at one time also means I'm buying less ice at one time, and the Hillbilly Yeti is just not holding up. So once again, we are out of ice.
Have to leave tomorrow, so we got out our chair to enjoy our spot for one more night.
Hey, what are you doing? Are you enjoying the beautiful sunset?
When the sun went behind those clouds, it got cold, but views like this are just really hard to walk away from. So we sat out and watched it until the end.
I hope y'all enjoyed that. Today is almost 14 days for us. It's time for us to move.
Yeah, guys, once again, laws are contradicting themselves. We're supposed to be sheltering in place, but at the same time, we're not allowed to be on one plot of BLM land for more than 14 days without moving at least 30 miles. So we're gonna take this opportunity to re-up on supplies and get some traveling in.
Make sure you subscribe and comment below and do what we asked at the beginning of the video. Tell us how things are affecting you and your thoughts and concerns. If you see us, wave from afar.
Peace out, guys. Have a good one.